Why did Joe Biden's Securities and Exchange Commission just file a brand new lawsuit against Elon Musk for securities fraud and securities violations? I'm Michael Popok. You're on Legal AF and the Midas Touch Network. Let me explain to you why it's important that Gary Gensler, the sheriff of Wall Street for Joe Biden, continues to do his job all the way through the inauguration. Let's break it down. I'll tell you about the suit, and I'll tell you why, forget about build the wall, why Joe Biden's continuing to build in the remaining days of his administration, even through his cabinet picks like the Securities and Exchange Commission. They're building their insulator, their firewall to protect democracy with executive orders, with new lawsuits, with administrative procedures. Because the more they do now, the more Donald Trump has to try to undo when he takes office. And there's a limited amount of time. I mean, if you do the curve of political capital, political will, and time, there's just only so many things that Donald Trump can do in the first day or 100 days. And the more he has to try to undo what Joe Biden has done to protect democracy and the Securities and Exchange Commission has done to protect financial markets, the less time he has on the clock to do what he wants to do, which is to advance his Project 2025 Heritage Foundation bought and paid for agenda. And so the new filing against Elon Musk for securities violations is important. Let me break it down for you. I'm going to use my Wall Street background to tell you about it as a lawyer who worked on Wall Street for a number of years. Let's get into it. What happened? What happened is the new lawsuit claims that Elon Musk defrauded, if you will, the market for $150 million because he did not disclose on time that he was acquiring millions and millions of shares of Twitter, before he bought it. Why does that matter? The goal of regulators like the Securities and Exchange Commission for publicly traded companies like Twitter, ones whose stock trades with the public, is to make sure that there's a level playing field in the investing community, right? That the big fat cat doesn't have an advantage through insider knowledge or information or other transactions against the mom and pop investor. They already have a lot of advantages, trust me. But the advantage is about information. The goal is to have information be symmetrical and transparent so that if you're buying one share and Elon Musk is buying 10 million shares, you're on equal footing from an informational standpoint to make your decisions. Because if you knew, for instance, that Elon Musk was buying up Twitter stock, you may not sell it as cheaply as you did into the market. And that's what Elon Musk is alleged to have done. Once you hit a 5% threshold, you acquire 5% or more of a publicly traded stock, you have that in your portfolio, it triggers a requirement. We call it the 13D or Reg 13D requirement that requires you to announce to the investing community through an SEC filing that you've acquired 5%. Why is that important? Because once the market knows that you're a shark in the water and you're trying to acquire a large block of stock in a company, even though it's not controlling, that may indicate that you're trying to acquire the company, which means I may hold out for more money when I sell. If you don't disclose it, which is what the allegations are against Musk, he's able to buy up on the cheap from people who had no idea he was the one that was buying up the stock or what his acquisition or acquisitive goals were. And so, for instance, I'll give you what happened. He started buying the stock in the allegations of the complaint in January of 2022. By March of 2023, he had acquired 5%, but he did not disclose it, which allowed him to acquire almost another 5% of the stock, millions of shares from unsuspecting investors on the cheap, because they didn't know. They knew it was Elon Musk ultimately, but they didn't know that he was buying it to acquire because they didn't know how much he had because he didn't disclose it. And so the way the SEC calculated it, he took the market for $150 million. He bought his shares for $150 million less than if he had properly disclosed, which means that $150 million should be in the hands of shareholders, not in the hands of Elon Musk getting a deal on buying up the stock of Twitter. He was 11 days late in filing that Reg 13D report. Doesn't sound like much, but in the fast-paced world of Wall Street, where he's acquiring millions and millions of shares during that time, he actually doubled his holdings in that period of time that he didn't disclose. So it wasn't by accident. He knows securities laws. It was on purpose, because then he started buying, and by its calculation, he saved $150 million in doubling his stake. How do I know that? How does the SEC know that? Because as soon as he finally late filed his Reg 13D on purpose, he had already acquired 10%, not just 5%, and the stock market responded, moving the stock price up 27%. So if you held your stock and you didn't sell it, you made 27% more on your money after Elon Musk announced than before. And when you run that across all of the buys, that's how you come up with $150 million that he basically defrauded the investing market over. Now, let me compare it to something. Walt Disney. Okay. Walt Disney, in a real estate transaction that's not regulated by a regulator like the Securities and Exchange Commission, he was able, like 75 years ago, to fly over Central Florida in a crop duster and point out big swatches of agricultural land that he wanted to acquire in and around Kissimmee, Florida, right? And buy it up through secret trusts and secret buying groups and secret sellers, straw men purchases, so nobody knew it was Walt Disney. Because if the farmers and the landowners knew it was Walt Disney, they already had Disneyland in Anaheim. They might have said, "Whoa, wait a minute! We can get not $1 an acre, we can get $1,000 an acre." And Walt Disney didn't want that. So he acquired most of what became Disney World and Epcot Center on the cheap, without the sellers knowing it was Walt Disney. Now, later, when he had to acquire more and it was his plans were known, he had to pay more for that. But that's all okay in a real estate arm's length transaction, because it's not regulated like the Securities and Exchange Commission. It's the opposite of what's okay in buying up stock that's regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Millions of Americans grind or clench their teeth at night, and most don't even know they're doing it. If you have jaw pain or headaches after a night's sleep, there's a high chance you grind or clench your teeth. Teeth grinding, also known as bruxism or TMJ, is generally caused by stress, and it can cause serious damage, such as eroding away your enamel and broken teeth, which leads to expensive dental bills. The solution to protecting your teeth is a mouth guard. But mouth guards from the dentist, they can cost you around $500 to $800. The good news is that there's Remy. Remy makes dental grade, professional quality mouth guards without the painful price tag. They're up to 80% cheaper than what you'd pay at the dentist and don't require you to visit a dental office. Remy's process is simple. They send you an at-home impression kit to create molds of your teeth. You send those back to Remy, and Remy's dental team will make your custom fit guards and send them right back to you. Remy's guards are so comfortable to wear that most customers forget they're even wearing them. Plus, with a 45-night satisfaction guarantee, you can try it risk-free, sleep better, and decide if it's the perfect fit. If not, Remy's got you covered. Look, stress can be my middle name sometimes, especially in the fast-paced world of podcasting and content creation. I'm on a news cycle timer, and at night, sometimes I have trouble turning off the old brain engine. And I have a lot of dental work that my dentist would love if I did a better job protecting, including my smile. And then I found the Remy mouthguard kit. And now my dentist is jealous. The in-home process was so convenient, easy, and affordable using their custom impression kit. It took me less than 10 minutes, and Remy ships it to you for no additional cost. And they keep your impression on file for future use. Remy is for anyone dealing with nighttime grinding, clenching, or jaw pain who wants an affordable solution to protect their smile and say goodnight to jaw pain and headaches. Head to shopremy.com/legalaf and use code legalaf to save up to 50%. That's 50% off at shopremy.com/legalaf with code legalaf. Give your teeth a break without breaking the bank with Remy. Thank you, Remy, for sponsoring this episode. Now, Elon Musk hates regulators, and he's been doing a dance of death with the Securities and Exchange Commission the whole time he's owned public companies. They've sanctioned him. They've punished him. They've stopped him from using social media to gyrate on purpose his stock prices. I mean, he used to post things on Twitter and on social media and just watch the stock go up. Like, I'm thinking about buying back all my stock at, and then you make a joke about smoking dope, smoking weed at, I don't know, at 430 a share. Oh my God, 430 a share. Everybody started buying. Oh no, I'm not going to do that. And that's illegal. That is an illegal stock manipulation, trying to topple the governments of our allies, of the UK, of Germany, of France, of Canada. Not because he cares about America. He wants to get rid of all those regulators that have been driving him crazy about all of his businesses. In the European Union, he hates the European Union, and he hates American regulators. That was the biggest fear when Donald Trump brought Musk into the government, is that Musk was going to be single-handedly handpicking regulators against him. He's got billions of dollars in government contracts, and he's the fox inside the chicken coop who's going to be in charge of cutting government spending. I assure you, come back here. We'll get the contracts through freedom of information request during the 4-year term. Elon Musk will triple, if not quadruple, the amount of his federal contracts for his companies while he is a federal officer. Guaranteed. He's already doubled his cryptocurrency and value in Tesla. Before he gave his $200 million plus to Donald Trump to buy an election, his total net worth was about $250 billion. It's now pushing $500 billion just since November. That's why he gets up on stages and jumps up and down to like cryptocurrency. Yeah, because he owns billions in cryptocurrency. He was doing that in the stock market for years. That's why he hates Gary Gensler, the Securities and Exchange Commission head for now, because he wants to regulate and has been regulating cryptocurrency. They don't want regulation in cryptocurrency. All of the incoming administration is completely tied in with the cryptocurrency community, who gave billions of dollars to Donald Trump to get him elected. They have huge stakes in cryptocurrency. They own companies in cryptocurrency. His commerce secretary coming in, Howard Lutnick, tied to cryptocurrency. Donald Trump himself owns a cryptocurrency platform. Elon Musk, billions and billions of dollars in cryptocurrency. They want to get rid of Gensler. Now, why is the Securities and Exchange Commission filing with 5 days to go?
The geopolitics of East Asia, one of the world's most dangerous maritime hotspots, had no answer on how Trump would end the war in Ukraine and said very little about Middle East threats to U.S. security. And Hexen fueled fears about Trump treating his power as unlimited. He refused to say whether he would order troops to shoot protesters if the president-elect told him to, and would not rule out invasion forces to take over Greenland and Panama Canal in line with Trump's expansionism. But Trump prefers performance to detail. He likes subordinates who praise and defend him, and has mirrored his mantra by lashing out against diversity program in the military, dismissed allegation about his personal life and exclusive drinking as smears, and would not apologize for past inflammatory